And some local social media and traditional media so a recruitment so our Ghana Police Service, Immigration, Prison Service, and Office of Fire Service. And another topic. Minister for Interior, Honorable Muntaka, or your MP for Asawase essay, a nipa 506,000 and a submit your more applications. But spots are available no 5,000 per. I Gossips 24. Messi, so maybe a subscribe button so no one click the notification icon. So feel free to submit your comment section. Your comment section. I share video. Now make house endpoint homeopathic clinic. So maybe your map no. I'm a Ghana phone in a summary. You see, KD, ya tiate si Ghana have and maybe 4 million ya dear. And I say farm and you touch endpoint. Visit any of endpoint homeopathic clinic on branches no. The end there will endpoint when it's almost free health scan at the amount. The Akabian on the share will read you say a stroke, say a kidney, say fertility issues, say a prostate cancer, wholesome endpoint at the amount. For numbers, net screen so free. And that's what's happy endpoint for. But you go back to the story. 80. And now, it was on the 26th of February 2026. And now, Honorable Muntaka Mohammed, Minister for Interior, I can say, since you are not person will get rid of human factor now, what recruitment process, our Ghana, your police service, immigration, and the kaka honimo. Just a summary, almost the system, na system be enhanced by AI, and the aptitude test, bump after body selection, as solid the so before some medicals, no,
I've been in the army. Mr. Speaker, the aptitude test, this is what happens. You physically go to a center, you go and write, and then somebody marks. And during the marking, that's where people used to extort money from these innocent people. I can get you past, I can get that, I can get that. And what the Ministry of Interior tries to do is that to take the human aspect out and make sure that this is done without human interference. Mr. Speaker, he's talking about internet challenges. You are forgetting that every one of them will have traveled from his village to either Accra or Kumasi or Bolga or Sunyani or Takoradi or Cape Coast or Ho to write the exams. Today, we are making it easy that they can sit in the comfort of their home or probably just travel to the next village or the next town or the next neighborhood where there's internet for you to write that. Which one is easier? Now we take out the human interface. What is happening? A lot of the people think that, and Mr. Speaker, because I've been a member of Pan-African Parliament just like you today, I know the majority of Africa have stopped writing exams manually. In the AU system for the past 10 years, if you want to join the AU system, you write an online exams. And people don't know that the camera faces you. Anybody try to assist you, it will take you out because you are trying to cheat. If you try to double log so that somebody will be quoting the question and answering you, the system detects that. It takes you out. So that's why, even with that, we instructed that because we are doing it for the first time, let's give all those who attempted that and disconnected them an opportunity for mop-up. And that is why currently the mop-up is going on.
Oh yeah, this announcement, area, now they say, various platforms, say most of the security services posting updates upon updates about the recruitment process. So we go through the better online application voucher 220 Ghana cedis. Now I apply, now we documentation, now body selection. Now first we go through aptitude test. Some points are we medical so now the chebiano. What so we service the book and answer with your book. It's on this education we in a buy no. Any part bear 506,000 in some media. Numbers na HSA omoto application. Now remember, say every single application form biano costs 220 Ghana cedis. So by this, so we are saying say 220 times. You have to say 500,000, but 500,000. That means say through this whole recruitment process, no Ghana buying enya sika 110 million Ghana cedis. 110 million Ghana cedis. And a Ghana buying enya through this recruitment process. Now, any part of forms nevi, ama this omako online application process no, omako documentation, omako body selection, some do aptitude test no eso. And no, and honorable Afenyo Markin, and nano our Parliament House back at hey. And be a course or attitude test na Ghana for the na Troy na or you will be an on test and a constituency no at your banning attention say. obi wo ho no ma o true aptitude test no ewie no nsa kan result me ba no mo say disqualified dey ka kan any pay so ato application voucher 220 Ghana cedis na ebi mo kra the questions na share na odwo bia no hu our questions no related to any of the security services nipa no pemu kwan akwakoye adwuma e dey aso mo my Ghana ewo mu.
I just want to put the facts right. Don't pretend your constituents are not on your case. Mr. Speaker, these unemployed youths, they go to the center, they say you are supposed to go through aptitude tests, you get under the system and you are locked out. The question, somebody told me, he was asked a question, what is the size of a basketball court? You want to go to police, then you have to answer a question. The AI system that has been deployed must be customized and to ask relevant questions. It cannot be generalized. It's AI, so you are asking general questions. Mr. Speaker, the military did something good. They created a system where people entered to write the aptitude test direct. Mr. Speaker, if it is possible, the system should be changed to enable our boys and girls who are even not educated on ICT to write it manually, so that a proper system is put in place which will allow them to go into the AI space. I am for AI. I am for IT. But you cannot suddenly call somebody from Punkugu who doesn't know anything about IT and wants to join the force work, and you are told that go and write aptitude tests via AI, and if you don't have any means, you fail. Mr. Speaker, this is not political, and I don't want it to be misconstrued. I think it's a serious system challenge that the ministry would have to look at properly, because it is us, the MPs, who are carrying the burden. And I speak for the entire house. I speak for the entire house. People go to the cafe and then they get on the computer and they go through all manner of challenges. Mr. Speaker, I would plead that the whole system be reviewed. Our boys, our girls, they come to us MPs, take money.
ATN or employ ministry is a ministry no looking into it carefully. Not long after that conversation started your Parliament House no. And I mean who some of the your friends say aptitude test questions, no, right? And if you look at this, where it will be no question 12 out of 60 questions, I'm not say a quatrain. Where somebody says that the idiom to read between the lines, actually saying no man the possible answers, now selecting where somebody said say who served as the second president of Ghana, then the possible answers were 90% selected. Where someone say in the context of a procedural manual, the directive ensure the protocol is adhered to could be made more active and directed by saying then the possible answers at all. So there were a lot of questions that Omubisa Ghana for our cultural aptitude test. It won't be some say convert 0.2 to a percentage. So these are some of the questions. And it's a number less than Afenyo Markin, raising consensus on our Parliament House. And I'm out for Mokotsana aptitude test way so a try no a say. So we try aptitude test in the results in the ember instant. Results no. On my date, some may analysis the eka my assessment of what test in our channel and send a result in Abba. It's a bit more result, eba no. Now they say a chemu actually say Oma qualify. A bit more honoma, Omo qualify into the next step no, a medical process no. A bit more so honoma, Oma qualify. Ya catch omo so much me achieve the required pass mark into better luck next time. A bit more so ya catch omo. So, omo year analysis no area no omo who say violate a lot of rules. Omo dey to exam no ehon. And what are the rules? The rules to any say making sure say we camera no esi so. Na won dane wuti anasa won dane wo kon. Obi antumi mba wo nchen whilst I will throw exam no. It is a wo throw internet cafe na so obi twam wo echi anasa obi begina wo echi a we fail exam no. These are some of the rules I will. It is our rules we know. And no more they really pardon no na just some go exam. We catch some we analysis we no. You will say we do phone cry exam question a picture. It's one who try exam questions, the picture in idea, automatically move failing this particular aptitude test. And then now say, Minister of Interior, Honorable Muntaka Mohammed, eba be press conference, a church and semu, and a minister neba obebe church and semu ka say, ampa, Ghana for 500,000. And I just say, omoto forms no, and go through application process no. Nembo no, you bet you have 5,000 per and you cover the various security services. It's Ghana police say the entire police force no air 49,000. But in confirm we apply for Ghana police air 130,000. Now so Ghana police say bet me for nipa just 3,000 per. Immigration in nipa almost say 18,000. But omunya nipa 180,000 or more apply for Ghana immigration service no. Meanwhile Ghana immigration service no omo pay nipa 1,000 per. Also fire service nipa 17,000 the womb. Nipa 124,000 and apply for fire service. Now so fire service for you almost 500 per. You prison service almost 500 per. Now so nipa 71,000 they apply for prison service. Meanwhile prison service na kasa 50 pennies so kosi akola owo mu. Omo ye 14,000 per. No more prison service mu. Sa no pay nipa 500 per. Our first phase because of IMF programmer Ghana ye dey ho akwakohye mu enti.
So the total space we have to be able to recruit in this first phase, and my emphasis, first phase of the recruitment process is only 5,000. And yet you have over 500,000 Ghanaians who want to join. So I ask everybody, well, we have body selection, we have documentation. When we finish, I mean, usually these ones, because they're about document and body selection, not too many people do. I mean, by the time we finish, those who got disqualified through documentation and other things, they were less than, what do you call it? They were less than 30,000.
Now, Minister Nsem Kaimuno, or can say, before aptitude test, no, now there's more nipa be 480,000. Just so we go through the whole application. What you say? And I'm going aptitude test, no. It's aptitude test, no. Confirm pass aptitude test, no. And just 105,000 and a pass aptitude test, no. Meanwhile, I'm pay nipa 5,000 pay for the first phase. Into His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Akache no say, I'm pass aptitude test, no. Number we medicals, number pass medicals, no. Maybe omo to me for omo kasa 5,000 no. Omo from record ne to. Maybe a second phase no. Omo cost our numbers ni mu. No matter so say aptitude test, omo so try, no matter so try aptitude test ni bio. Na no die. Omo hwe so me for omo second phase no.
The president instructed that look, those who qualify and pass medicals, let's keep the data. This is the first phase. We are hoping that maybe later in the day, because remember this current recruitment that we are doing is a 2025 recruitment. Hopefully when we are out of the IMF, we could do the 2026. So we'll pick from that same data. Hopefully, if maybe it's past 6 months, then you can only ask them to repeat medicals, but not to start opening the process all over again.
But then, Honorable in team for your press conference. And it's Honorable in team for your chair. Debbie, what you confront 220 Ghana cities. Obi Ohonoma, auto bay applications for back for auto police there, immigration there, fire service there, prison service there, because onim there befa there befa be anafa. Obi so Ohonoma, of our calf in the chrome by what's it? It's a more funding confront. Ome fairly aptitude test no, and that's confront for one reason or the other. Intino. Munim say more find nipa 5,000, so more tall. Application forms and my nipa 506,000 more refund obusika and for more.
And further call for the following urgent actions. Number one, and first, there must be an independent bipartisan probe into the entire centralized recruitment process for immediate and appropriate review before we continue. And number two, very, very importantly, responding to the plight of the 500,000 potential recruits who have been scammed, we demand the government must refund the application fees of 220 cedis per application form to all applicants who were disqualified through knocked out technology constraints, who were disqualified not because they did not qualify, but because of the problematic nature of the aptitude tests by the questionable recruitment process. They must all be restored to every amount they lost. And here, to put it in perspective, most of the applicants will tell you that they bought 2, 3, some even 4 forms to all the security agencies. So for the person who bought 3 forms to Ghana Police Service, to Immigration, and to Ghana Fire Service, such a person has lost 660 cedis, not to talk of the cost of traveling to recruitment centers. All these costs have been put in place, and all their traveling up and down, even the cost of going to the internet cafe, all these trauma having endured, you turn around to tell them you have space for only 5,000, pay back their 220, refund the 113 million cedis the government has mailed from the unemployed, unsuspecting, innocent, hardworking young men and women in this country. This is a serious national security threat. They are in despair. And if something is not done about it, and over 400,000 youth hit the streets, what is going to happen? There will be chaos. Already we have national security threat, unemployment on our hands. You promised them jobs. You didn't add any conditions. Then you turn around, you politically expand the age limit from 25 to 35, signaling that there is more room and more access, more financial clearance, which was a lie. You knew from the very beginning you were recruiting only 5,000, and yet you did all this to lure 500,000 people, took their money, milked them 113 million cedis and over, only to turn around yesterday, after you had knocked them out by technology and internet disruptions from the aptitude tests. You tell them that you have only 5,000. Yesterday, the minister also said something that was quite troubling. He even made allusion to the fact that they have introduced this system to eliminate persons that they perceive to have mental challenges and drug challenges, not to enter to exacerbate the already mental challenges that they have in the. We beg to differ. We on the minority side cannot undermine our men and women in uniform. We are proud to say that the men and women in uniform in all our security agencies are of sound mind. And these are patriotic people who are selflessly devoted to the protection of our land. You don't undermine them publicly, internationally in such a manner. And the question we're asking is, which aspect of the aptitude test had psychometric and psychiatric assessment that disqualified 400,000 people that they deem to be mentally unfit? That is most ridiculous. So we are demanding the refund to all of them. This is not partisan. Everybody who has been treated who has been scammed in such a manner must be refunded their full funds, and then probe is conducted, and then we take it from there. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And then comes in MP for Adenta, Honorable Abu Ramadan. There's already Okokaye, chairman for the NDC. Honorable Asiedu Nketia, the constance work. Okokaye or Honorable say, Abanda de Chemu, MP for Mresono. No, I saw the list I call. I'm on the list because MPs your mom slot. What I say, MPBL will be there. I'm on the list. Nobody come on. Then the marshal list now will list today. No matter what. Now so one more time idiot. I saw one no man I change in those is your constituents no. And soup because I knew anyhow. I'm a promise you with you. Now so much police service I'm doing for more. Soldier I'm doing for more. Immigration I'm doing for more. Fire service I'm doing for more. Prison service I'm doing for more. Chairman, NJBB more.
I'm going to be very brief. Chairman, you'll be on fund the time 8 years ago. Usually, no, get very advanced team, no, we do her on time. And yet, emergency, when you have been here on time. See, I'm going to be very brief because from here, he has other stops. Mr. Chairman, you are sorry. Now, sorry, also there, you are here tomorrow, Abeba. Now, oh, you are here tomorrow, Waketia, that will heaven. Beba. So party politics na yeye. Party politics waketu ya wahemfa. Waketu ya wasase meboa. Mr. Chairman, Adenta, even though in the last election, we have done it before because we had won twice, 2008 with Edu Asari, 2012 with Ashmo. But it was the first time we were winning with the same candidate. In the next election, Nyamea Adoma, Adenta constituency, we will win 3 times on the trot as a party. Mr. Chairman, to be able to do this, we have to be able to make the base happy. Mr. Chairman, And rightfully so. Obiaye Juma Openaketia or we are here. Our branch executives, our constituency executives, they exerted themselves so much. Omaye Juma ding amankunim diaba. And then ikunim diaba, Mr. Chairman. Abai e boni humode. But still there are a lot of complaints on the ground. Mr. Chairman, recruitment here during MPP. In the last 4 years at MPP MPP area recruitment. All they will ask you, they say, Fanipa or Pese or Confanity Bra. The person would not have to go through the process. Near here, they say, the Pandaka Koya medicals, Ube who no shake uniform, no approaching. But Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, NDC, I said we are following the rules too much. And then Mr. Chairman, me baha. In Crawford Bibria, Oshami, I don't want to catch him to Ramadan. Pending, no, and doors no. Mr. Chairman, yes, sir. For one or two, then you will say, yeah, Papa Chairman, or car, Ebenyo. And Crawford or 1 year, you must sacrifice Yama Party. They must see the reward here on earth before we go to heaven. Mr. Chairman, there just to be a new Adenta. In my first term, not buying any power. So when people complain a lot about issues of development, I could tell people, say, "Enyama buying a wasu." Internet development, you be a yen to me. Aje omoto abama me no moto mame papa jomama. We can do it together. And then your main charge here, yeah, Papa, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Abebe, Ramadan, Suya MP. So the people are waiting, say, Nia Okayano, Yane. Into Mr. Chairman. Yes, no. Can be mine.
But Chairman, response or they buy another meeting with party officials, no? And they say, hey, says I'm omofa a police for, and as a fire service for, and immigration for. And now prison services for 500,000. Why am I never a crown for? No, by the actual crown for no. It's the other the slots and 5,000 pen or more. And the Ohio better to a buying this so 5,000 pet no make me a fact.
Eco police 500,000 and then 5,000 when you 50,000 500,000 and now one more and per quiet Eco police. And you check 500,000. Na say yesi obia ope kwai akundom. Yemfa police for 500,000. I hate fan na ombenya crop for crash chiwo. I for na e kwachiwo. Ye nyina ya koye police. And why I never continue. It is our president. Nanipa 500,000 say, Obia petrol go police. Obey no day. Make a so. Police in your say, Ocha let a man, no worry. As I say, follow now, Pesica, or the Betrianica. Open baby, obey. And the boots are contano. Let us say, Nipa, you bet me a foul more a few weeks. And just 5,000. 500,000, and I hear you move 5,000. And now they are either for. So one day I do a minister, there the mouth say, go you 5,000 free, 500,000 more. Over bread. And until Yenina Yenim say, Ye youth no, one more pay, security no umbrella. Let's say, you deny one more channel. I'm pressure no about the boss. Only 500,000 will be a police will run. Yan can so ya deal. So that they so fire service in the and then the crowd. It's 5,000 yes, sanity woman. And no problem here, yeah, Aqua. Enti Muntaka also bread. Their friend Nina Kasa also change nothing more. Na ayasem kese.
So this whole thing tells you, say, we have a system a failure. And what is the problem here? The problem is from the politician. The politician, our MPs, our ministers, they are the problem. Let me tell you why. Maybe you benefited from an MP or a politician, so you are free to say this, right? But how can we have politicians in this country, MPs, ministers as such, who are bold enough to say, "Mafa nipa say, me was slot say, yedi ko police mu, yedi ko soldier mu, yedi ko immigration mu," because at the end of the day, someone's right to join a security service or serve in any of the security services shouldn't depend on a slot given to a politician. It should be based on passion and interest. And that passion and interest must be tested as to whether the person merits or the person deserves to be in that spot. So the first problem here is the politician. The second problem here is the recruitment process in place. First of all, why must a citizen buy a form to join the police service, the immigration service? It means that we are not intentional. And at the end of the day, our brothers and sisters buy these forms because of the unemployment rate. If you have 506,000 people buying forms to join the police, immigration, prison, and fire service, it tells you that as a state, we have a problem, a big problem. Because guess what? In other countries, it is immigrants who become citizens, who choose to join police service. See, the citizens themselves find it as a punishment. So, more joining a young immigrant, and you who say, "Oh, Charlie," or say, "Me call police." "Oh, Charlie," but say, "Me call." I say, a young immigrant, and they are attractive to us. So why should a citizen buy forms so they join? This is the hard truth. The second part of the problem is that in our quest to eliminate the human factor in our recruitment process, I find it baffling. Say somebody actually sat down and thought of a system for an aptitude test. Let's forget about the questions being unnecessary or whatever, whether the questions are good, they are not good. Let's forget about that, right? But the system, how can somebody build a platform for a system? And I'm disappointed. I know that the engineers at TribeNet are brilliant engineers by all standards. Listen, you guys are amazing, brilliant heads. But I believe that somebody gave you an engineering plan that this is how they want the system to be like. If not, you would have built a better system than this. Because this system is flawed. Any system, I better say throw exam no. Na enfa exam ne report results amount instant no better say a pending. And we say you review na you assess exam no and send the results na about into kofie na the results ne beba over check results on platforms. That system is flawed and it lacks integrity. That's the truth. It lacks integrity because obe bia wire exposed to writing for any certificate outside of Ghana or here in Ghana, whatever no. Enim say unya throw exam na ye the results bro. It is omoye analysis ni wie na se wo twa okon wo fa phone di twa bibi uni obi kasaye uni obi yesi a instant na ye catch us we fail due to one or two reasons. Say a score on the one nadia instant na you catch us went to me and pass because 60 questions there the amount already needing the answers to those questions. Your building was system ni mudida. You need the answers to those questions. Even if it is aided by AI, they know the answers to those questions. So it is just a line of code to reveal the results of your exams instantly. I Gossips 24. The whole system is flawed. See, I commend the Interior Minister for trying to introduce an aptitude tests on an online platform, for and what have you, right? Good step. But listen, the engineering of this aptitude test platform is flawed. nobody would accept this in any serious country. Nobody would accept this aptitude test platform. Nobody. It's a joke. Say main tro na min kofi na obey assessment in HA now the results naba. It's a joke. What you say? What shows say these are the areas I'm getting wrong, because in any serious certification exam and nasi bibino, omo the results nima instantly. So we try omo the ma instantly. Omo catch instantly. Instantaneously. No more dia bro. No more catch up. Say area we unya so and so percent. Area we unya so and so percent. Area we now falling short. Any other. Some even go to the extent of giving you the opportunity to review the answers. Whereas some don't. Some even give you the opportunity to print out your results and see for yourself, so that you can go and sit down and get prepared and retake the exam again. You understand? This is an aptitude test, for Christ's sake. It's not even a certification exam. So it should be something simple. Obama independent result. But if you tell the person to go home and come back, the human factor now person will give him, you have even compromised it again. And it makes the situation even more worse than before. It is like, say, we're building and a building or foundation in yet. Pillar be hujo, also will be replace pillar in kwa, or replace pillar no so no. One fast cement, papa replace pillar no. Jata cement ni Dangote cement, one fanye. Now all this cement fufu be na kwa ye pillar. Foundation is so I won't fix it. That's the problem we have here. I don't know if Omeri found your musika bomba, but from the look of things here, utumo sikano ashe. And nipa 5,000 pay, and no bet me afa. Na no money, some be fine nipa 5,000. No more ton forms, and my nipa over 506,000. That means say, almost for just 1%, even less than 1% of the number of people are more apply. And they knew. So it means that 99% of the people are more. This is how serious it is, because 10% of 506,000 is 50.6,000. Do you get it? 10% of 506,000 is 50.6,000, something around that. So 1% pen or more for almost 1% pay. It's 99% there. MP so see more slots. Almost slots in the cry day. Imagine so we be choir, and this is the country we live in. I August 24. Obian kind of credit because Obia belonging to a political party. Magraheb.